Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to continue our look at the Legacy United line, and we're going to look at Chromia. When the Siege one came out about 5 years ago, I detested it from day one and said, as soon as a newer version of that character comes out, I'm gonna be in for it. Does this iteration improve on the Siege one? Does it live up to the hype? We're gonna find out in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. This is Chromia, and I really did not know if I was going to like it or not. It comes from the Cyberverse universe. It's even stylized from there because it's using the animated prowl body. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be better or not than Siege. Let's find out together when we head over to the table and take a closer look at her. And man, oh man, I have certainly been enjoying the Legacy United Wave 2, and we're going to kind of top things off with Chromia this time around. And I detested the Siege Chromia that I looked at in episode 533. I detested that thing from the start and said then, as soon as there's a new Chromia, I'm replacing it. Is she going to live up to the hope, the hype, the expectation that I had? Well, we will find out. But let's begin by looking at the packaging first. Very straight up packaging, motorcycle mode here. Great head sculpt and a nice close-up of it there, the robot mode. Our usual 40th anniversary artwork over here on the Legacy United packaging. And on the back, of course, we see both of the modes, robot and bike. And like she's holding the ninja stars, I guess we'll call them. Oh, we've got ourselves some handy-dandy instructions. They're okay, they're not the best. There's some stuff that I still kind of fiddle with a little bit that I don't know how to show it clearly. I don't know how they would show it clearly, so I don't know. They're instructions, but they're not the easiest ones to follow. And here we have both iterations of Chromia that I currently own. The Siege, which I do not like. For a number of reasons, and I wanted to like it. That's the thing, I really wanted to like it. I love the Power of the Prime's Fembot mold, even though I know it gets a lot of hate. And this was supposed to be like, we've improved things, but I think you made it infinitely worse. Like, come on, look how loosey-goosey those legs are. The waist skirt falls off. If you want to retain a knee bend, like, these have to be stuck off on the back, like, at this angle. It's just, I don't know, she's not good. She's not good. And I don't know, I've never really liked it. I still think the Generations one is pretty excellent. In fact, I would say the Generations adaptation is probably the closest to the Cyberverse mold, taking this out of it. When I say the Cyberverse mold, remember, this Chromia is supposed to be Cyberverse Chromia. And if we start from the feet and work our way up, the feet should have some red on them. The lower legs should have some light blue on them, like the upper legs. The knees should have the dark blue on it. When we get to the torso, the chest plate should be a dark blue, and the abdomen area should be a light blue instead of all this red, though I like this red. When we get to the arms, they're mostly correct in terms of color, but certainly stylized in terms of being a bit bulkier. And while we have the handlebars above her head, we should have, I don't know if it's 2 tires or 2 halves of tires above her head. This is about a 6 in terms of animation accuracy. But don't let that be a deterrent, because it's a pretty great Chromia. Let's do the articulation. By the way, I have her holding the blaster that's meant for Chromia that comes with the Centurion pack. It'll only go in her right hand because her left hand is actually molded a little bit different, I assume, to hold the ninja star. So we're going to just lay that blaster aside. Not for nothing, but here she is next to Shard, a wave mate, you know, so you got an idea there. And next to Gears as well. She's certainly a bit bigger than Gears in terms of height, but her mass is still quite small. Funny enough, her mass and the Siege's mass the exact same, 64 grams. About 20 grams too light for a True Blue Deluxe. Nevertheless, we're at a 6. Let's do the articulation. The head can go left and right. It can look way up. It can look down. The arms, they can go all the way out for a nice T-pose. They can go all the way around. We have an elbow to 90 degrees, bicep swivel. Nothing at the wrist. That's a slight bummer. Not deal breaker, just a slight bummer. Waist. We have a nice waist. A little bit of an ab crunch because of the transformation. Legs, like all the way forward, right? Legs all the way back, right? I mean, you gotta remember, this mold is intended for a ninja, so we shouldn't be surprised, I suppose. Thighs swivel all the way around, 90 degrees at the knee, and I suppose the ankle is like a lower knee. It's a weird movement, but it can do that. We have a little bit of ankle tilt. It's not crazy, but it's certainly there, and while the toes can go forward, I don't know if you really want to. I mean, maybe it's, maybe it'll help you with something. Stands like an absolute champion. Oh, and if I didn't say it, by the way, splits all the way to the side. I'm so glad that she stands well. So glad that she stands well. So, I don't know what to say. I really like the articulation. I like the range of motion. I'm going to give it a 10. We have a 6, we have a 10 right now. She's getting about an 8. Let's do the transformation and get out of here. So getting an 8, right? We're going to begin by turning the legs to the side. Nope, wrong way. We're going to do it this way. I know it's the wrong way because I need to have this wheel cover, I guess, out front. And I know that that's going to be where the chest is here. The arms, they can go out to the side, and we're going to fold in a hand and fold in a hand. These pieces on her back begin to rotate down, and there's a bunch of motions here at once, really. So we're going to bring these all the way forward, and you'll notice I'm bringing up the chest piece. The whole chest piece begins to come up and out, and the waist will fold down here as well. And all of this now comes out and up really over the head, and the back of the head actually got some dials and stuff in it, which is kind of cool for motorcycle mode. We can also now push the head up because it needs to be up in the motorcycle so we can see those dials and stuff, right? Leave all of that like it is for now. The arms here, they come to the back and they tab together, and not for nothing, but technically the seat can go down here now too. Now we got to get to what I call the hard part. And I call this the hard part because I find it to be a little bit of a cumbersome nuisance to do. So the waist actually comes forward a little bit like this. This leg turns this way, and this leg will turn this way. So they're both turned so that the feet are kind of angled back, if you will. Now that the legs the arms are together, we have a little gap up here in the light blue section that this knee piece is. They say that it tabs in, but it doesn't really tab in. It just sort of loosely guides in. Then we're going to rotate that weird ankle hinge that I said to bring this foot up underneath. That's going to be crucial later on because there's a rectangular tab on this side of the foot and a rectangular tab on that side of the foot that these pieces will lock into. Until that happens, I find this is not very solid or secure at all. And I don't really find that the arms like to stay tabbed together that great either. Let me just make sure I got everything kind of done here as much as I possibly can. Okay, we're going to take a handlebar down. We're going to take a handlebar down, and we're going to bring those just kind of back around for now. We're not really locking them in anywhere. Now that we've got that done, we're going to bring this up. Now, this is when things get a bit interesting. We're going to, again, rotate at that ankle, and this whole foot, it kind of positions itself in here, and then we push it up into here. I can't really explain the movement to you. we just sort of position it there like this, and then at the ball joint, we kind of, see, it just popped out, and it's not supposed to pop out after you get it in there. It should just, there, kind of go up like that. And now that we've got that done, we can, using those rectangular tabs on the side of the foot, inside here, we actually have a little rectangular slot. They go over the tabs on the side of the foot, or they should go over the tabs on the side of the foot, and push in and push in. There's also a, I guess I should take this out now, because otherwise it's really hard to get out. That is the kickstand. Up on the side, tab it in, and boom, in the end, here we have Chromia in her motorcycle mode. So not for nothing, I like this alt mode better, but everything about this transformation, like the legs don't like to stay together until you tab everything in, the waist piece keeps falling off, these arms never really stay tabbed in, but I like the look of this alt mode better than the motorcycle. The motorcycle is also a bit of a finicky transformation, that's why I'm giving it an 8, because nothing really wants to stay locked until you really solidify these two kind of side pieces here onto the foot. Before doing that, nothing really wants to stay. And honestly, trying to actually explain how to do this front foot is difficult because you just kind of gotta feel it. That said, I think as an overall Chromia package, I think the new Legacy United is much better than this. If you like the Siege, cool. If you have the Generations, I still think you probably have the best one. But for what it's worth, for me, on my shelf, as the blue-clad fembot known as Chromia, I gotta say, I'm going to be going with the Legacy United. Overall score of 8. And that's pretty darn good if you ask me. And here we are once again, here she is. So, first things first, yes, it's a little bit of a different stylized alt mode and look for Chromia, there's no doubt about it. Very much reminiscent of, how can I put this? There's a different model that was used, I don't know, in comics or something. I may have mentioned it in the actual review and it's eluding me right now, where her Cyberverse body type looks like that body type. I would say, if anything, her Cyberverse body type is heavily inspired by the 2013-2014 Generations version, which was itself a remold of the Transformers Prime RC. And that was excellent. That was a great Chromia. Never came here first nor last, never got it. If I had that one, I would have been fine with it. It's a great mold. The Siege one came and I was excited and said, hey, maybe that one will be good. I detest everything about that mold. I really, really do. I like the alt mode and that's about it. Then we get this one. The articulation is nice and solid. She's solid on her feet. She has a great look. The head sculpt is to die for. All of the blues are very nice hues. Then we get to the transformation. It takes some getting used to. There are things about it that's a little finicky until you get everything locked together. But overall, I would say a very intriguing transformation. I love how when you turn like this, all of this folds and flips down around and comes out in the whole other side. I think that that's really neat. The arms are very simple where they just come behind. I wish that the legs felt like they had more of a locking point until you tab everything in, especially the front tire one, because I feel like you just kind of massage that into place. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it feels like that front tire is the weirdest thing to try and position. Once it's there, once it's in, it's solid. It's just really weird putting it in position. This absolutely, especially now that I put the blaster that came in the Centurion pack. I think it was the Centurion pack. Maybe that blaster came, if it wasn't the Centurion pack that this blaster came with, then it was the red cog, because a lot of stuff came with the red cog too. It may have come with the red cog. Nevertheless, I digress. That blaster will now live with her. I don't really like these things. I don't think I'll use those, but she is fantastic. Really, really fun version of Chromia. Better than the Siege. I don't know if it's better than the Generations, but man, oh man, is she wonderful in hand. Let me know what you think about this iteration of Chromia. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, please, and thank you. Stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel, and don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single day. You right there, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.